This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website, portfolio, or online store. Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome to my 10 tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy S5. Some of these features you might not know about and they can be quite useful, but first off I want to give a shout out to JTech Apple TV for this Galaxy S5. You can check out some of his videos, I'll link his channel in the description. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with my 10 tips and tricks for the Galaxy S5. Alright, the first tip has to do with the color of your screen or the display. So you can go into settings, display, and go to screen modes. Here you can choose a bunch of different color options for your display. But if you want to make your display more saturated or more vibrant, you can adjust it by choosing these options. The next tip is also under the display settings. Scroll all the way down and enable increased touch sensitivity. I couldn't find my gloves when I was filming this, so I used my scarf. But if you live in a colder climate, you can still use your gloves to operate your device. The next tip is the selective focus feature in the camera app. So just tap on the settings button right here and then enable this feature. What it does is that if you take a picture and the object is in focus, it's going to blur out the background, so the background is going to be out of focus. Quite similar to the HTC One M8, but the M8 creates a much more blurry background compared to this because it has two cameras on the back. Surprisingly, the selective focus feature actually works quite well. The next tip is for those who are new to the smartphone world or just new to Android. So if you think everything is complicated on the Galaxy S5, well, you can go into settings and enable the easy mode. And this just simplifies everything. You get all these app icons on the home page that you visit most often. You can swipe to the left page to add more contacts very quickly. And if you go into settings, everything is also more simplified. You get all these essential settings that you most likely will change on a daily basis, for example, brightness or Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and of course if you want you can still access the normal settings. The next tip is how you can take screenshots. It's very simple. All you have to do is hold on to the home button and the lock button at the same time for about 1 second, and that's how you take a screenshot. Very useful tip in my opinion. Alright, the next tip I have for you is the ability to use two different applications at the same time. Now this is what they call the multi-window feature, and it's also available on some other recent Samsung devices. So it's kind of like a computer where you have multiple windows of programs or apps. You can also do that on the Galaxy S5, and it's not going to lag unless you open up a bunch of different applications at once. By the way, you can enable the multi-window feature inside settings. Alright, the next one I'm going to show you is the Toolbox. So go into settings, into Toolbox, and you can choose 5 different applications that you use most often. So it's basically a tray of 5 app shortcuts. Before moving on to the last few tips and tricks, let's first take a look at the sponsor for this video. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is a service that allows you to create your own professional website. It's very simple and easy to set up your website. They provide a bunch of website templates and beautiful designs. It's as simple as drag and drop your content into your website. Not only you will be saving a lot of money and not hire a website designer, you can actually create a very good looking and very functional website. If you want to open your e-commerce or online store, you can do that with Squarespace because every site comes with an online store. Plan just starts at $8 a month and includes a free domain name if you sign up for a year. When you decide to sign up for a free trial with no credit card required, be sure to use my offer code KENFilms to get 10% off on your first purchase. This way you can support my videos and get some discount. So I want to thank Squarespace for sponsoring my videos. The next tip I have for you is quite useful. So this is the blocking mode, and you can block incoming calls, turn off notifications, turn off alarm and timer, and I have the time set at night so the phone doesn't wake me up, and if necessary you can still allow certain contacts. So this is quite similar to the do not disturb feature on iOS 7, and for me this is very useful. The next tip I have for you is the private mode. So you can go into your gallery or your files, and you can select different pictures or videos and then you can move them to a private folder. And if you decide to enable the private mode, the private folder is actually going to disappear. But if you want to see them again or see these hidden folders, you have to go into your settings or just go into quick toggles and enable private mode, enter your passcode or your pattern, and the private folder is going to reappear. Alright, the last tip I have for you is to save some power on your device or save some battery. So go into settings and power saving mode. You can enable the normal power saving, which basically restricts your performance, blocks background data, and it can grayscale your screen. And this is going to give you some extra usage if you're running low on battery. But if you know that you're not going to have access to any power source and you're going to use your device for the next few days, you can enable the ultra power saving mode and it's going to last a few days. Everything is going to be in black and white or grayscaled, so it's not going to use up the battery as quick, and you can still access some important functions on your phone, like making phone calls and texting. So this concludes my 10 tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy S5. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and on Friday I will be doing a giveaway of the Galaxy S5 or the HTC One. So be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you are excited for that. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for future Galaxy S5 content. I'll see you in my next video.